Hey, good day, folks. Welcome to another episode of Andrew's Life. I hope everyone's having a wonderful evening right now. I got a little story for you folks. I mean, this story has been viral.
Riverfront saying it.
This story has been viral. Uh, it's about the fight that happened at the riverfront in downtown Montgomery, Alabama, and basically, uh, all this started because this man right here, the security officer, uh, he asked these people right here to move their boat because it was in the way of where the ship that was coming in needed to board at. These people right here refused to listen to him. So, in a nutshell, that's basically how all this madness started. So, I'm going to go ahead and play the story and then I'm going to talk afterwards.
Crewman from her boat disembarked, and you see the fight starting right there. People just running over and joining. Then it just turned because a pontoon boat should have happened. Videos of the incident went viral. The person recording this one telling NBC News it started because a pontoon boat was blocking the spot where the riverboat she was on needed to dock. She says the crewman from her boat disembarked, and you see the fight starting right there. People just running over and joining. Then it just turned into this massive all-out brawl, groups punching, shoving, kicking. At one point, someone even ends up in the water. The mayor says they are now investigating the incident.
Something that we take.
All right, folks. Let me go back up here. All right, folks. All this could have easily been avoided, in my humble opinion, if these people would have just listened to this man's orders, the security officer's orders, and moved their boat. But since they did not want to take orders, rather than taking orders, they decided to fight. I mean, he decided they wasn't even a fight at first. These men and a few other men, as you saw in that clip, they decided to run up on this man right here, the security officer, and basically assault him because they didn't want to move their boat. I mean, in a nutshell, that's basically what went on. So let's see what the mayor's got to say. I'm gonna go ahead and see what he's got to say. I mean, at first I didn't really care, but you know what? Let's see what he's got to say.
The water. The mayor says they are now investigating the incident.
Something that we take very seriously and deliberately, as with any matter that happens throughout our city regarding public safety. We are fully engaged and we are doing all of our due diligence to find out exactly what took place.
Let's bring in Priscilla Thompson, who's been monitoring all the latest developments. Priscilla, when I saw this video over the weekend, I had to rewatch it because I couldn't wrap my brain up around.
Yeah, Ellison, very shocking video. I'll start with the investigation. At this hour, officials say that they are reviewing video of this incident and that there could be more arrest warrants that are coming. But for now, we know that investigators have issued 4 arrest warrants so far, though no arrests have actually been made. But to your point about this video and what exactly happened, witnesses say that this riverboat cruise was trying to dock, that they had repeatedly asked the owner of that pontoon to move the boat. And after no one moved the boat, that was when a crewman got off of the riverboat and began to appear to.
All right, this man in a navy blue Nike shirt. I mean, he's trying to break it up. He's trying to bring some peace and order into the situation, which, as you guys will see, it's not going to be as easy to do as he may have anticipated. I mean, this whole situation is ridiculous. It's completely out of hand. I mean, you got a bunch of good for nothing, degenerate pieces of garbage right here. All these people around here that basically they want to do what they want to do when they want to do. They don't want to take any orders. And to be quite frank, I think it goes a little deeper than that. I mean, honestly, I don't even think it's the fact that they did not want to move their boat. I hate to say it like this, but knowing what I know about certain people that live here in the deep south, I'm gonna say it like I'm gonna say it. It's gonna make some of you mad, but it is what it is. But I believe personally that these individuals right here, the occupants of that boat, they did not want to take orders from someone who didn't look like them. They did not want to take orders from someone who they felt was inferior to them. So rather than moving their boat like they were requested to move their boat, they decided to assault the security officer, which is he's on the ground right now because I think this. No, I think I think it was this man that drop kicked him, and then that's how he fell to the ground. So, unfortunately, this is the type of shenanigans that we got going on in this country. Now, just to be fair, I can't truthfully say that this type of stuff is only going to happen in the deep south because it isn't. I mean, to be truthful, these type of shenanigans happen all over the country. It is what it is. Now, there's people that might say, "Oh, this is just a situation that's only in the deep south. This is a situation that might only be in, let's say, Alabama or Mississippi or Louisiana." But oh, I've traveled quite a bit throughout the country. I lived in different places. I mean, primarily, I lived in the South and also in the Midwest. But this type of crap happens all over the country, not just in the deep south. So, what I said earlier about some of the white folks in the deep south, I mean, part of what I said is true, but, you know, but then again, to be fair, to be truthful, this type of crap happens all over the country. Unfortunately, throughout the country, there is racial tension. And typically on this channel, I don't really talk a lot about that kind of stuff. But you know what? Everybody else seems to be talking about this story, so I'm going to talk about this story, and I'm going to give my 2 cents as well. And that's what I think about what's going on. I think these individuals here, that, I definitely think that this is racially intense. Yes, I do. And I think it's more of a racial situation than it is that they didn't want to move their boat. I'm pretty sure if the officer would have been a race similar to their race, they would have done what people would since do. They would have simply moved the boat because they knew they weren't supposed to be there in the first place. Let's see what else they got to say.
Untie the pontoon. Very quickly, witnesses say the folks who that pontoon belonged to came down. There were several minutes of a very heated conversation, and then you see in that video a man shove the worker that was trying to help. And
okay, what you guys see right now is you see more men come to the rescue of the security officer, which he's not in this particular clip. But all these men, like all these men, the black men, they all came to the rescue of the security officer to even the odds out a little bit. Now, some of these are employees of the ship that was supposed to board this dock right here, and they decided to. I'm not 100% sure what they're doing right here, so we're gonna play the story.
Chaos ensues within seconds of that happening. I want to play a little bit of what one of the witnesses on that riverboat described in terms of how all of this unfolded. Take a listen.
We were all on the boat and witnessing our poor crewmen being attacked by these guys, and we couldn't do anything about it. We were forced to be spectators. It didn't have to turn into the brawl, of course, but the brawl occurred because of the anger and the emotions and the frustration all of us were feeling.
And what she's talking about in that last soundbite is that once the riverboat docks, it appears that you see several people running off the boat, running over to the pontoon. A man punches the man who was on the pontoon, and then we see the fighting erupting again. This time, there appear to be more than a dozen people involved. At one point, a woman is thrown into the water. There is also footage appearing to show someone being hit by a chair. So just an incredibly disturbing event. And as you mentioned, the mayor is now speaking out about this. I want to play a little bit of what he said, or read a little bit of what he said in a statement saying the Montgomery Police Department acted swiftly to detain several reckless individuals for attacking a man who was doing his job. Warrants have been signed and justice will be served. Those who chose violence will be held accountable by our criminal justice system. And one of the conversations that we're seeing happening online is people noting the racial dynamics of this situation, that it was a black worker and appeared to be a group of white folks when this altercation began. Police were asked today if they were reviewing this as a potentially racially charged incident. They declined to say if they were or were not, but said that they are continuing.
Like I told you guys a second ago, I do think this incident was very much racial. I mean, again, that's my humble opinion. I mean, sadly, in this country, we do have racial tension going on. And there's definitely racial tension here in the deep south, here in the state of Alabama. I mean, like I said, this type of crap is happening all over the country. Let's not kid ourselves here. I mean, if I were to sit here and be like, oh, it's only happening in the south and it's not going on nowhere else, you know what? Bullshit. I mean, there's racial tension going on in Chicago right now. There's racial tension going on in New York. There's racial tension going on in every other part of this country. It may not happen exactly the same way in which this particular situation has unfolded, but it happens in other ways. So if I were to sit around and tell you guys that this is only an issue of Alabama, or this is only an issue of the Deep South, I feel that my information, my opinion, would be disingenuous.